Hello guys, today we're back at Beyond Blocks in Tokyo and we have Brendan from Skycoin. How are you, Brendan? Could you tell us audience a little bit about Skycoin and what is that big problem that it is trying to solve?
So when Satoshi created Bitcoin, he envisioned a decentralized network of hundreds of thousands of computers running the Bitcoin network. So Bitcoin was originally designed to be a decentralized cryptocurrency. Today, the Bitcoin network is controlled by less than 3 mining pools. It's essentially an oligarchy. We can't really call Bitcoin decentralized anymore because it's completely controlled by Bitmain and 3 companies. So one of the issues that Skycoin is trying to resolve is to re-decentralize Bitcoin and fix the problems in Bitcoin. So there's several issues like duplicate coinbase outputs, signature mutability, the fact that Bitcoin is no longer decentralized, and so there's a huge stack of different problems that Bitcoin has, and Bitcoin was able to grow for the first 8 or 10 years until it hit scaling limitations and until it started confronting these problems. And the Bitcoin community doesn't really, the developer community doesn't really have a solution to these problems. So we're trying to basically resolve the remaining issues in Bitcoin and basically to finish what Satoshi started with trying to build an actually decentralized cryptocurrency.
What's the roadmap look like for Skycoin in 2018? What are some of the major updates?
So we have over 30 ICOs launching on our platform. We have our scripting language CX coming out. We're doing university partnerships. We have the SkyMiner and our hardware platform for blockchain. On the 10th in Shanghai, we're launching Skywire, which is our mesh networking application. We're doing a partnership with Apollo Energy, which is partnered with the largest solar voltaic company in China. And we're doing a decentralized power grid project in Australia on blockchain. We are launching Kitty Cash, which is, people are paying 2 Bitcoin per cat. Right now, we're launching the first video games on blockchain, eventually casino, poker, blockchain, gambling, prediction markets. There's just a lot going on this year. It's pretty crazy. We're also doing academic partnerships, and we're going to have universities start teaching students how to deploy blockchain applications on Skycoin.
See that some of the smart contract platforms such as Wave, Ethereum, and Cardano or List and OneChain, they're also exploring on the domain naming service side, such as DNS. Will there be a DNS for Skycoin as well?
Yes, of course. It actually only takes us like 2 days to launch that, but we just are so busy right now, and we're just trying to get Skywire done. And I think that right now everyone's still using Bitcoin addresses, but I just want to put in like Sam dot, something and just send coins to that person. I don't want to have to remember this 40-digit address. So we're eventually, and the other issue is with security. So when you give people addresses, they use the same address over and over and over and over again. When Satoshi created Bitcoin, you were not supposed to reuse addresses, but in practice, everyone reuses addresses. So we're going to be switching over to a domain name service. And we're going to eliminate addresses, but the public won't see them. And we're going to eventually ban address reuse. So that is on our roadmap. I think it's very important for security.
I understand. And lastly, how's the SDK like for let's say a user that want to deploy their smart contract on Skycoin?
Yes. So we have CX, and what we realized was smart contracts are a joke. So Ethereum says they have smart contracts, Cardano says they have smart contracts, IOTA says they have smart contracts, but in reality, you can't do anything with them. They're too expensive. Even people don't want to pay $20 for a multi-sig transaction on Ethereum. It just doesn't make sense. Yeah, you could do Z-snarks on Ethereum, but do you really want to pay $50 a transaction for the gas cost? So what we realized was that blockchain has a role for creating decentralized applications, but most of the code is not going to be on blockchain. And the other thing is, there's only like this many blockchain developers, like 40 of them, that are doing all the smart contracts. And we created our platform basically so that you can take a Golang developer and in 15 minutes have him develop blockchain applications. Our platform is not focused on smart contracts, it goes beyond smart contracts. We're focused on video streaming, video games, Counter-Strike, online poker, gambling markets, instant messaging, file downloading. So there are some parts of these applications that are going to be on blockchain, but it's really only 5% of the application. So this is really, our CX language is a full programming language. It's not a smart contract language. It's 1,000 times more powerful. And this is aimed at mostly corporations and people producing video games, people producing messaging apps, companies that want to use blockchain as a database. Whereas smart contracts is really a niche. So everyone says they have smart contracts for marketing, but the reality is no one is actually using the smart contracts, and the people who are using them stop using them because they're too expensive. And I think one of the big trends that we're going to see this year is all these coins, 100,000 projects on Ethereum. If they actually have users, they're going to start moving onto their own blockchain because Ethereum is getting crowded. So we're seeing this flight where every company is sort of demanding their own blockchain. And so we're trying to enable that with our platform right now.
Since we're on this topic about gas and so on, we see that Ethereum gas station skyrocket when CryptoKitty started having some traffic and traction. How, for example, Skycoin solving this problem?
So what people don't realize with Ethereum is that Ethereum only does 30 transactions a second globally, and every single app is on one blockchain for Ethereum. So if there were 30 people on Earth buying and selling cats at the same time, the network shuts down for days. And what this means empirically is that there are less than 30 people on Earth using Ethereum at any given time. So with Skycoin, we have people doing applications, and they're coming to us and saying, we don't want to fight with those other applications on the platform. We don't want our app shoved on the platform with 100,000 other coins. So we give every application their own blockchain. So when we have a power grid, this power grid in Portland we're doing a partnership with, when someone is doing buying and selling cats, it doesn't shut down their power grid. So this is for the next generation of blockchain. Is we have a platform called Fiber where every single company, every single application is getting their own independent blockchain. So each of our blockchains is 10 times faster than Ethereum, over 300 transactions a second minimal, and we have an infinite number of blockchains in parallel, and we call that Fiber. And that's how we're solving. We're not using side chains. We're not, so that's how we're scaling out our platform, basically. And this is our hardware platform. So we have 8 CPUs in this, and you can deploy a different blockchain application on each CPU. And this is a small one because we're going to have companies that have 500, 600, 800 blockchains that are be using as database. And we're going to be shipping units that have 256, 512 independent CPU boards that can each run an independent blockchain application. And so this is, we're building our own hardware platform to achieve scalability for the next generation, what we consider to be the third generation of blockchain. We consider Bitcoin to be the first gen, and Ethereum and Cardano and IOTA are really second gen, and we're doing the third gen, which is really blockchain for enterprise.
Understand. And so for ICO that are building on Skycoin, how do they obtain this stuff?
Yeah, so we just launched this a month ago, and we shipped out 300 units, and we're doing 300 units a month. The waiting list is already 2 years. So if you order it now, if we did 300 a month, there's already thousands of people waiting. So we're actually building a new factory, and we're actually building our own custom PCB board because the factory that manufactures these China is sold out of 64-bit Orange Pis and then we have to go to the SoC company because the CPU vendor can't provide us enough volume. So we're actually working directly with the SoC provider. We're building our own ASICs now, and we're getting our own factory because the existing factory can't provide the volume that we need. So we're scaling up production to 1,000 units per month next month, and then we're going to be doing 60,000 new factory for 60,000 units a month. But it takes a while. You have to buy the equipment and train the people and get the manager and supply chain logistics. And even like UPS and DHL are having problems because we're asking them to ship like 2,000 boxes in one go, and they're like, it's like one guy shows up to say, oh, you have 8,000 boxes, like what?
And since we're at this event at Beyond Block, what do you think about it? Do you like it?
Yeah, this event is great. I like this one a lot. This is one of the best blockchain events that I've been to this year.
Okay, perfect. And lastly, since Mr. Block is a Taiwanese crypto and blockchain community, will we ever see Skycoin in Taiwan to do some conference and so on?
Yes. We might actually set up a Taiwan office, and we're actually setting up an office in Fuzhou, which is right across from Taiwan, 20 minutes from Taiwan. And our lead developer for Kitty Cash is actually, he lives in Taiwan. So yeah, we might set up an office there.
Definitely. Thank you so much for your time, Brendan.